Why all the silence?
Not quite sure what's going
Yeah.
on here. First time I've been
Yeah,
on one of
evening,
these
guys.
things.
Hi.
Hello, Brett. Hi,
How's it?
Kev. Sorry,
How's
I
it
think there's a
ending?
bit of a lag there. Evening,
I thought you
everyone.
were, thought
So
you were
How's it?
frozen.
How's it?
there's like an accidents anonymous group.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
Well, before I
guys, I
tell
thought I
my
just
story,
wanted
I'm
to
hoping
invite
you're going
you.
to tell yours.
I know you go first.
Uh, you just stick the hand up first. But I thought I'd just invite you guys on tonight because the three of us have just had an incident each in the last 2 months, basically. Mine was a little bit further back. Um, uh, Brett, yours is very, very fresh. Kev, yours was what, probably 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
So, yeah, and I think we laugh about it now, we laugh about it afterwards, but it's good that we're able to laugh about it because it means we came through relatively unscathed. But you know, it's like the sort of adjustment in each of our different scenarios, and things could have been totally different. And
absolutely.
I think that's why I wanted to do this tonight and just chat about it, and then we can, and it'll be good for other people to have a listen and see what can go wrong because uh, it can go wrong very quickly out there, and it's scary, and uh, and I think it's a good education for guys when we chat about these. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, I
Brendan,
don't know what. Kev, I don't know if you want to. We'll kick off from left to right. I'm
all
sort of
good.
on my screen. I'm in the middle. Kev,
I'm
do
glad
you want
about
to just
this.
chat your screen?
Look, guys, jet skis always lead. You know that, boys.
You're
Yeah,
dreaming, boss.
yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, guys, thanks for inviting me on the show. I can tell you, after after my incident, and it's not the first time I've had a bad incident, but this one really shook me up. So, and I really want to chat about it because it's important that people understand that going through big surf and all that. Eventually, now you're going to get into trouble. So, for my incident, if you take it this winter swell, the swell's just been enormous, and it hasn't been great. So you get stuck at home for 2 days. Suddenly you get withdrawal symptoms on fishing, and you want to go fish. So I've been launching salmon for 8 years now, 4 times a week maybe. So I would think I'm fairly used to the launch. It's quick. It's on you. It's some massive shore breaks. And on this specific day, the shore break was fine. I just got in, no problem. But when I woke up in the morning, strangely enough, my wife said to me, "Don't go, Kevin. I can hear the waves are big." And I was like, "No, babes, it'll be fine." So I went and got my jet ski. And as I drove out of my gate, I had this thought I should go get the big life jacket. Nah, I'll be fine. I rode down the road on Westbrook to the beach and I had a look at the sea and it was banging. And I thought, I'll just go down to Salmon and just have a little look. So I had now 3 or 4 warnings subconsciously telling me, look, be careful. So I continued anyway. Got down to the beach. And when the tractor driver, I wanted to unhook my jet ski, I said to him, look, just wait, leave it. I don't think I'm going to go, you know. So went onto the deck, had a look, and it's pounding. But behind the pounding, it's beautiful. I know the snooker running. It's flat as a pancake behind the wave. And I'm thinking, I watch the sets as I always do. And there's a gap, a tiny gap, but there's a gap. And I'm thinking, okay, you got this. Because I was so complacent that I was good enough to do this, and complacency kill you. Anyway, I eventually decided, okay, look, take my ski, put it on the beach. As I get out my car, I hear this voice: "Leave your watch, your garment." I don't. So, long story short, guys, once I got into the water, you know, standing from the beach or the deck, you always see the guy going out there and you're shouting, "Go for it! You got your break! Come on!" But the reality is that when you're on the water, and especially for you kayak guys, it's even lower for you. So to see behind the oncoming wave is difficult. And these waves are monster. Not only that, you're running I was running then 14, 15 second period between the wave. So what really that a lot of people think that's the time. It's really not. It really tells you bigger groundswell, bigger period, massive white water coming at you. What I mean is the power of those foamies is just you really got to hang on. Anyway, getting out there, I've circled now for about, I don't know, 2-3 minutes, maybe 4. And the whole time I'm edging to the left of salmon near the rocks, and I'm sure you guys know where that is. And the reason I'm doing that is because the waves are coming big on the right and they're fizzling out. So I'm thinking maybe I can get out there. It's really the most dangerous place at Salmon Bay to be. Left of salmon, in front of the ocean basket, etc. there, right-hand side of the rock. Massive rip current there every day. If you ever go swimming.
So it's just when you say so you're a little bit north of the launch, going
So
further
yes.
north there.
So if you look north of salmon, you'll see rocks. So on the side of those rocks, there's always a big rip. So I'm now turning, looking to get the gap to go out left towards let's say Christmas Bay side, and you're low, and now these foamies are monsters. So I'm punching, and I see one sort of roll at me. So I get over it, thinking I'm going to get out. And as I went down over it, this monster wave. At one stage, I thought I was in Mavericks. I thought, no, I'm going to ride this wave. So the time I came down the back of the line, the way behind me, this wave stood up. Now it's about 4 meters ahead of me, and I just got nowhere to go. Left is rocks. I can't turn right. It's coming a bit from the right. So I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to smash right through this tidal wave. And so I just gunned it. And I want to tell you, when I got to 280 degrees of the 360, I thought I can make this. So the ski was going right over my head now, and I'm looking at it, thinking, I'm sure I'm in the wrong position here. So I kicked the ski, I'm away from the ski, tried to get it deep in the water. The ski fell. This massive wave came up, and here the ski's upside down looking at me. And here's where it all goes wrong. So panic, bang. I launched with I've got a one of these diving shorty on, long shorty. I've got about 5 layers of clothing. I've got jackets because it's winter now, it's cold. Once you get out there, it's chilly. I've got a really Mickey Mouse life jacket, and the reason I wear it is because it keeps me warm. It doesn't keep me floating. Keep me warm. So I made all the rookie errors because I'm so complacent about going out on big stuff that I'm now laden with clothing. And if you know my physical performance in swimming,
you don't look like a lot of life jackets will keep you afloat, boss.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, that's the truth. I even lost my tooth, look here, in the whole event. So I've got to go and fix it. Yeah. Anyway, so you're 100% right. Can I tell you the biggest issue with life jackets for a guy who weighs 46 like myself? Okay, maybe 105. The problem with these life jackets are many of them don't keep you afloat. So I had the good fortune that Bruce from Waterman phoned me up and said, Kev, I'm going to make your life jacket. I said, that's wonderful. He brought it, works perfectly. Right? It's wonderful.
Yeah,
but that 100% does. That day I thought, no, because it's a great life jacket, and I want to tell anybody who's got one, you can swim easy in it, and it lends itself proper to our surf launching. The problem is it's cold, so I thought I'll just take something warm. Yeah? Anyway, that was step number 1. So this time now I'm in the water, and all I'm thinking is this: I'm damned, because I'm in this massive rip. I've got 5 layers of clothing, and this life jacket's battling to keep me up. And then the monster wave.
Are you still in the sets, amongst the sets?
I'm right there. So the first thought that came to mind is, I'm buggered. I'm done here. I'm never going to make it back. I'm like right out in the last set of waves.
But you've lost your ski, Kev.
So the ski is right next to me now. So it's upside down. So I push it away, thinking get away from that because these waves are coming. The last thing I need is that thing to come and attack me like a shark from the rear. So I kicked it away. And all I thought is, okay, I know the rib's there. I'm going to see if I can get a bit shallower. And the waves are just pummeling me. Yeah, I tell you, boys, let's say it was I don't know, maybe 100, 110 meter, I don't know, 50 meter swim. But it felt like a lifetime, eh? You know, Brett, when I listened to your story that you had to do a 3K, I got white flushes, nightmares. All of this came back. So now I'm in the water, and all I'm thinking is get away from the ski. But in hindsight, the ski, all the ski did, it just floated straight out to the deep in the rip. I should have just stuck with the ski, but I didn't because I was scared I'm going to drown. So I'm smashing in this water. I know I'm in the rip, and I got to get back. And all I'm shouting is, "Help me!" It's a Monday. No one's at Salmon Bay. We've got a black tractor driver, and he can't really swim, so he can't come and get me. So there is just nobody. There's about 10 holiday makers standing on the beach, and they clearly don't understand help because no one came. So by this time now, I'm starting to get really tired, and obviously everything's hanging down on me, and these waves are just smashing on me. But fortunately, I try to keep really calm and just keep telling myself, okay, you're making, try to ride these big foamies, but these big foamies, they just smash you to pieces. So it messed my hair up. It was a mess. And I got back. So I get back.
You've only just got it right.
That's right. That's correct. So I get back to now where my toe can touch the rock. And I'm like half crawling over them, and this big foamy kind of smashes me right over the rock. By this time, I was shouting to this Dutch Fanny and another guy, "Come and just help me, pull me," because now I've got no energy. So if you saw how they carried me off out of the water, there, it looked like I was dead. I had like one hook on each arm, one hook on each foot. I was like a bag of potatoes. But I'm laughing now at it. But straight away I was thinking, geez, Kev, what have you done here? I launch salmon all the time. I launch in big surf, but I got too complacent. I got too thinking that I can get out there because I've done it lots of times. So my suggestion going forward is, guys, the sea hurts, eh? It hurts you. So you really need to look at where you are. Let's take Salmon Bay. Don't creep up the wave and don't go left. Don't even go right. You got the swim back in the middle. I'm not joking. The swim back from where you're launching in the middle is far less than if you're out there. So I think at any launch site, try to think about where you're going to get away, especially on the jet skis. The kayaks really go dead straight up, but the jet skis will look for the gap or a boat. So I was thinking it's important the guys understand where, if shit happens, where's your run-to point? If you get into the water now, how far is the swim? And my advice is, one, take on when it's bigger, just wear the big, ugly orange life jacket. You can always just put it away.
Yeah.
Take clothes off. Rather get wet, put the clothing on out there. But it's freezing, it's like 13 degrees. You're really chilly. So you get complacent not to do that. So guys, I can tell you, rather get out safe, dry yourself down, and go for it. Because that swim in the water, although it was maybe 110 meters, I don't know how far it was. It felt like a lifetime. It really, I had visions I'm not going to make it, especially when the waves were smashing on me, and I was battling to get back up, because there's air bubbles there, and that life jacket's not really helping. So pick the right life jacket for you. Make sure you can take your weight. Climb in the swimming pool. Climb in your sea. Have a go at it, and you'll see very quickly that these ones we wear for because it looks easier. It looks, it doesn't get in the way. Boys, make sure that thing can take your weight.
Yeah.
So yeah, Brendan, it was a very big eye opener for me because the more I launched, the better I think I am. Guys, every launch is a dangerous launch. Just take and look at your skill sets and see if you're able to. If you're not, and the biggest killer is watching the back outside past the wave when it's flat, and you're thinking, I just need to get there, and then I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
But this winter spell is ugly.
The ocean has a nice way of humbling you at any time, eh?
I promise to God, and that's exactly what happened to me. I got humbled thinking, geez, kid, what do you do? You had all the signs not to go, and I still went. That's just because I'm thinking I'm a superhero. and it humbled me back down.
Hello?
You there?
Yeah, something happened in the connection, I think.
Yeah,
Still there, Kev?
I've just had load shedding. Yeah, I've got a couple of candles going and a light, so I'm sure I'll
Yeah.
be okay. But if you lose me, that's what it is.
Okay, I think we seem to have lost Kev for a few minutes there. I'm sure he'll get back on. Maybe he's also been hit by load shedding and has to pop the generators on and stuff. But yeah, as soon as Kev's back on, we'll jump back in there. But do you want to chat through yours, Brett? Or
Yeah.
maybe you
Look,
chat through yours and then
I'll
I'll
go
chat
next.
through my story afterwards.
So mine was a little bit more recent.
I think most of the guys listening might have heard the voice note already.
Yeah, so mine is not fishing related. I fish off a fishing ski pretty often, I'd say, at least once or twice a week.
Aye.
But this time around, how's it, Kev?
Aye, sorry guys.
All good load shedding.
We've just jumped into Brett's story, Kev, and then we'll
Yes.
chat about mine, and then we'll swing back to chat about some of those
Absolutely,
those
yes.
points we were talking about.
Yeah, so this time around I wasn't fishing, surprisingly, because if it's a toss-up between a training paddle and a dragging a Rapala or something, I'm always going for the fishing. But yeah, I think it was Monday. It might have been Monday when the wind was blowing pretty gales for a time. I went in my surf ski. I had a little op on my elbow early on in the year, and I've kind of been doing rehab, and decided to get back into the training. So I'm still early days, and same story. You think you're a hero. You go off your previous ideas of what you can and can't do. So, but to be fair, when I took off at Pirates, my intention was to do a downwind in my Fen Elite S, which is very unstable. Definitely not a fishing craft. It's a racing craft, and yeah, I'm a bit of a daredevil, and I often I'm known for doing downwinds when the conditions are not so calm. So it's nothing unusual for me, shall I say? But I'm definitely out of practice. My first downwind in probably at least 6 months. Yeah, my idea was to go from Pirates to Westbrook. It's about 30 Ks, just a light training paddle, get back on the horse, catch some runs, have some excitement. Anyway, I left Pirates. I didn't even get my hair wet. It was flat as a lake. And it's obviously protected by the bay there on the westerly wind, southwest. And yeah, it wasn't even a few Ks in, and I already started catching some lekker runs. And yeah, before I knew it, I was in the thick of a awesome downwind, and my speeds were getting up there. I was clocking an average at that stage, just before Umhlanga, I was on an average of about 16.5, 16.6 Ks an hour, and really having a flippin' ball of a time. Yeah, so I carried on, and I thought, shit, let me try and push this thing. And it's always a race, and there's always records to be broken, and your mate down the lane that you want to just show him your Garmin afterwards and say, yeah, I chowed you. So yeah, I guess I was pushing things to the limit a little bit, doing some silly things, and I took off on a run. I was off Umhloti Rivermouth, a little bit past Umhloti Rivermouth. I might have been just off the Umhloti Rivermouth. But when you do a downwind, you're always going deep. You're always trying to catch the biggest swell and the biggest runs. And the deeper you are, the better the runs are. And yeah, hard to estimate how far I was, but I was just inside the shallowest ship at that stage, which I guesstimate at about maybe 3 Ks out to sea. take off on a run, and yeah, if any of you have done a downwind before, you'll know every now and again you'll paddle your ring piece.
You done a
off.
downward, Kev?
Sorry, on my jet ski, I could do up and down. Yeah.
So
Sorry.
push the limits, and I get over the peak of a run, and I go down straight into a nosedive, and I didn't even pitch pole. I just went down under the water. Anyway, long story short, lost the boat. I get up, and my boat is about 50 meters or so ahead of me in the wind, and it's sideways, and it starts rolling. So leave the paddle, do the fastest, probably 50 meters freestyle known to mankind to try and catch that thing, because I know what's coming next if I don't catch it. And yeah, it was very evident very quickly that I wasn't going to catch it. And that was it. It was kind of like a movie scene. Bit of slow, sad music playing in the background. Kind of just stared
Sounds
at that
familiar.
thing rolling away.
Sounds familiar.
And yeah, after about 30 seconds, I skittled back and tried to find my paddle, which I battled to find, and I eventually found it. So just to put it in perspective here, and I know money is not a thing, but I'm not insured. The boat's 31 grand to replace, full carbon Fenelli test, and my paddle is 7.5 grand. So I'm saving what I can save, if you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I get my paddle, and here's the crunch time. I'm pretty capable. I was very calm. I've been in the sea my whole life since I was a latte, and yeah, I really had no issues. I wasn't panicked. Everything was good. But anybody else that may be less capable, literally would have shat in their pants. And I mean, when you start panicking like that, when you're that far out at sea, hey, who knows what could happen? But yeah, I had no life jacket, had no cell phone, I had no leash, I had no nothing. It was me, my surf ski, and my paddle. And before I knew it, it was me and my paddle.
Scary stuff, man.
Yeah, so I have to cut a long story
Then you
short.
made it back to shore after.
I just decided to flip and swim back to shore, and yeah, it was the swim wasn't easy by any means. By that stage, the wind, the conditions had changed a lot from when I started, and this is another thing. You know, when the wind's blowing, especially when there's a westerly blowing, you don't know what it's going to change to. You might get in the water when conditions are pretty balmy and pretty lacquer, and yeah, things change quickly, especially with wind. So yeah, the swim back was difficult, took long, and I don't even know how long it took. You know, they found my boat, by the way, 3 days later in Mtunzini.
Tell me that today.
I actually only found out a few hours ago this afternoon.
No way. Ruined.
Yeah, some oak was kite surfing in the Zini Bay, and he came across the ski that was floating. Got out the water, phoned his mate who owns the fish and tackle shop there in Mtunzini. I forget his name. Nick Maitland is his name. Sorry. Who owns the fishing tackle shop, and yeah, he came to the beach and he contacted NSRI, and long broken telephone story. I got my boat back, and they contacted me, and the thing's in one piece, and my Garmin is still on it, albeit dead.
You know, just Brett, just on that, you know, I had no damage to my jet ski, nothing.
Yeah, I know, unbelievable.
It just went upside down in the deep water, and I didn't lose anything. In fact, my tubby opened, and I had plastic containers with some of my traces in. And when the shark sport came to find my ski, they picked up all that stuff.
Shit, you know? Unbelievable.
Yeah, and then they righted my ski, tied it to the shark net, went back, and then they phoned me that afternoon and said, "Hey, we've got all your stuff." I'm like, no.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
So I went
just
there
to
and gave them
comment on
one. Yeah.
just to comment on the people involved, and I have to mention them, is the NSRR are flipping amazing. They honest truth, they really love what they do. The Oaks were desperate to launch all their craft that they've got, and even though they knew I was safe, they kind of want to go out in that wind and find the boats. And yeah, they were the Oaks that contacted me, and they do a great job, eh? So yeah,
Absolutely.
if any of you don't support the NSRR, you definitely should. They've got a little scheme. I think it's 50 Rand a month. It's really nothing. It doesn't even, you won't even notice it, and it helps them a lot. So,
But I tell
if
you,
you're a
you'll be
water
surprised
user,
how,
you should be supporting them. Simple.
yeah, you'll be surprised
100%.
how few fishermen support them, eh? You know,
Yeah.
and to
But
just sign up the
your
debit
guys
order,
stuff
gives them
was
a
all came
$100.
back intact. Mine
Yeah.
was also pretty much intact. So, that's what I've got
Shit.
left.
What shark bit you?
Kev, my story's actually got quite a lot of similarities to yours, besides not being intact still. But mine happened coming back in. But same thing. When I was standing there on the beach that morning, I'm sure he's got treacherous. I was fishing the UKFC comp, and I hadn't fished on the Saturday because Malati had rugby and whatever. So I wanted to get a nice good day in fishing on the Sunday, and the surf had been cranking all weekend, and it was up again on Sunday. There were gaps, and the guys got out quickly early, and but in my mind, I hadn't fished for a while, and I knew there'd been that incident that I'm Shloty before, and I stood on that beach, and I think it was Milan was with me. There was a couple other guys, and I was almost talking myself out of it. The water was surging. You know when it surges up the beach, like pushes right up, and then it pushes right down. You know that's a sure sign that there's going to be a rip of note, and it's not going to be a pleasant launch. And my boat just kept getting washed back, and then I readjust it. And I was saying to Milan, "Hey, check, here's a gap." Oh no, it's not a gap. And he even said to me afterwards, he said, "Shit, all I wanted to do was tell you to shut up," because I was like almost talking him out of it as well. And again, it's that, if you're thinking in your head, it's a no day.
Don't go.
You don't go. But eventually the gap came, got in, got out, punched a couple, and then I was out. And then, long story short, out on the water, I caught a nice fish. And then obviously everything changes,
Two,
And then there's excitement. Hey?
Was it 2 fish I think you caught?
No, it was just 1 kilo, yeah. It might have looked like it was chopped in half. No, there was a little walla lying next to my boat on the rocks as well. But
okay.
so then obviously it's the same thing like you were saying. The water beyond the waves is always good, and then in your mind you're like, hey, things are looking lacquer.
If I can just get
So
there.
then coming back in, yeah, and that's that's where I should have just in the morning I should have just said, right, I'm going to go to DUC, and I think Brock had got some nice fish at DUC as well, and I should have just listened to myself. But anyway, we wouldn't be talking about these stories, I guess.
Always got to listen to Brockets, eh?
No, I'll listen to myself. I should have said no. I was saying no to myself. Anyway, coming back in, and I knew it was going to be tricky, and I knew that there was a hell of a rip alongside the rocks. So I positioned myself further south of the pump house. I don't know if you know, I'm Shloty. You've obviously launched there a few times, Brett, but obviously Kev, as a jet ski, you don't launch it, I'm Shloty, but there's the pump house on the chain pool side, and it's quite far south. Yeah, but if you can get further south, I just wanted to stay away from the rip. So I was coming in, and I pulled out of a bit of a wave, and I sort of rolled in a bit of a gentle one, and it was like, it's not really one that I should have rolled over. And pulled myself back on, and as I got back on, another big cruncher came, and in the video it actually looks like I'm getting barreled basically. So I got smashed by this wave on the side on, and that just pounded me over, and it my ski hit my leg and cracked, and then obviously the ski then took on water straight away. And in those few minutes, myself and the ski, we were pushed straight across towards the rocks. And as I came up, you just know, hey, this is not lekker. And I could just feel I was just getting sucked out. And my ski was over ahead of me. I see the big crack in it. And I was being pushed straight to the rocks. So I stuck my hand up. There was a guy on the beach, and I was sticking my hand up for him to call the lifeguard. Doug starts waving at me. So, and I'm sticking my hand up. He's waving back.
Maybe he couldn't see you.
He could see my hand, and he's waving away. And I'm shouting, "Just call the lifeguard, bro! Call the lifeguard!" Anyway, so eventually got him, and I had my waterman jacket on. Another, like you were saying, those jackets from Bruce, and they're a winner. Eh? It was just you just feel a lot safer and more confident. Anyway, so I was trying to grab my ski.
They're top class.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're brilliant. They're just perfect for what we do. And I was trying to grab my ski and push it onto the rocks, and then see if I could maybe try and maneuver myself and the ski along the rocks. But you're never going to win against the sea. We were just getting pounded and pounded. Eventually, the ski got away from me again, and I managed to get onto the rocks, and I tried to cling on, and then I got knocked off again. And then the lifeguard was with me and pulled me out across sideways. He was struggling as well, the guy, he was swimming, and then his mate on the board came. So I popped on the board with him, and we scooted back in. And
not a space on that board.
No, he was real comfortable. He's right around me. His arms wrapped around me. It was really nice.
Did he have his
where's your kayak now?
So I jump out straight away, and I can't see the kayak, but I can see a whole bunch of oaks looking over the ledge on the end of the rocks. So I knew exactly where my kayak was. So I ran up there, and the guys had said, "Oh no, your ski's here," and we were just watching it, just getting pummeled. Coming a bit closer, getting sucked back, and just getting pummeled. And it was already bust in half, but nothing had come out. And then it got bashed around a bit more, and I could see stuff starting to float out. Anyway, this guy was there. He had a rope with him and a weight, and he managed to lob it over, wrap around it was around the cables or the rudder or something. We pulled it out, and I only lost the tackle box. That was it. The rods, the fish, everything came out literally within a few seconds. But
all you cared
the
about
ski was obviously
fish,
totaled. Yeah, and I was keen to get that fish to the way station. Eh?
I thought the ski snapped.
But the ski was finished, and that was that story. Eh? So, and again, there's a lot of lessons to be learnt out of all of these. Eh? And I think the first thing is if you're saying to yourself no, and if other people are saying to you no, you need to listen very carefully to that.
Absolutely. The other thing that is important is, like Brett and me, we both launched with nobody else. Eh? You know, I think we need to think about buddy fishing more. So you've got someone there you can just, you know he's close. At least he can give you some help. When from my aspect is, to launch in Big Surf, you want guys on the beach who can get in and help you swim. There was just nobody for me, so that's a big no going forward. Make sure you've got one of those, like at Salmon, they got that purple rig you put over your shoulder and you swim. We've got one on the beach, but there was no one to man it. So I need to make sure when I go now that I've got some guys on the beach, just Big Surf. But again, right now I'm really not in the mood to go for Big Surf. Although this bloody winter swell, you can't get away from the surf. Brett, where did you wash out?
About 2 km north of Schlote River, or north of La Mercy, shall I say.
So what did you do when you hit the beach?
I had a little bit of a run. I was actually freezing cold, but I took a bit of a run south, and I found some locals on the beach. I don't know what they were doing. They weren't even fishermen. Asked if I can borrow a phone. Phoned my wife, who was waiting for me at Westbrook, and I was already half an hour, 40 minutes later than what I said I'd be there. Yeah, just to elaborate slightly on that, I've had a few incidents before, and my wife was very quick to phone all the powers that be, and yeah, I gave her very strict instructions: do not phone anybody if I'm late. If it's my time, it's my time. So she sat there very patiently. Needless to say, she was pissed off with me when I eventually did phone her, but yeah, she came and fetched me at La Mercy.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
look, I
say-
tell you, they get scared,
I-
they get worried.
I was also on my own. I started off with people. They all they got into the water before me. They were all doing a downwind to Westbrook, and I hung around. And then by that time, okay, I bumped into a couple of other fishermen. By the time I was coming back off the water, I was also alone. And again, it's, you don't have that guy on the beach or your mate on backline just to have your back. And that's a big thing.
Yeah,
It's
to follow the line.
if you launch together and stay together.
Yeah, I think fishing with a
Don't
buddy
launch alone.
is important. Paddling, even if you're paddling, paddle with a buddy.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
paddle on your own. And at the bare minimum, let some people know what you're doing so that you got some oaks looking out for you. And then further than that, and I think, yeah, those of you that know me will know that I'm not an advocate for safety equipment. Certainly not life jackets and things. I've stood up against them before, but I can tell you now, if you need to take a life jacket, you need to take a leash. And yeah, look, to be honest, I would have turfed the life jacket if I had one, but you never know what could happen. I could have banged my head on my little incident, and
That's it.
Or you get cramp, eh?
yeah, you could cramp, you could have broken a leg or an arm or whatever you did, and then maybe you wouldn't be able to swim in. Doesn't matter if you Michael Phelps, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And then,
Yeah, exactly.
and then you're going to be so bloody thankful for that life jacket, and it's 1 in 100 that something could happen. But wear it. It doesn't really
It's rather
impinge you
safe
much.
than sorry.
Yeah.
I'm generally very safety conscious when it comes to that sort of thing. So I always launch with a life jacket on. I always beach with it on. In fact, I just leave. Well, the thing is with that Waterman, it's so comfortable. I use it. I just leave it on, and I use it as a pouch for my tools and stuff while fishing. So it doesn't get in the way, and it's just become part and parcel of being in the water with me.
100%
So
on the jet skis.
life jacket is a must.
Yeah.
We absolutely have no. We launch with them and beach with them, but once you're out in the water, you're taking it off. I want to talk to you about following seas on a jet ski. Just the other day, and I tell you, you talk about digging into your kayak and really just going underwater. It's happened to me a few times on a jet ski where I've gone right under the water and the water just consumed me. I just get gas in it, and that's because you come over those falls and suddenly there's a massive hole. So again, you just got to be so vigilant. And I can tell you, I did see Alistair France do exactly the same thing next to me.
Everybody's done it. Everybody's done it.
Yeah. But please tell Alistair when we fish together, he mustn't disappear.
Alice has had a quite a funny but a serious incident as well. Remember, he came off his ski and he grabbed his Rapala, didn't he? I'm sure we'll get him to tell the story one day. But
so
you were there, weren't you, Kev? When so basically his ski came past. You tell us.
So Ali and I were fishing St. Lucia. We went down south to the Jolly, looking for some snook. Didn't come right. Fished that little pinnacle there. This wasn't happening. I said to Ali, I'm going to run north. Let's go. We were on radios and everything. Ali just disappeared. He pulled his normal move. I don't know where he is. So he's gone up to the 50, to the ledge. I'm in the shallows, going up towards slides, and there's no Alistair. So I'm thinking, where's this at? And what had happened was, so the jet ski guys, you can put it into cruise mode, and if you take an elastic band and put it over the throttle, then it'll just keep that, you don't have to keep holding the throttle. It's a bit of a cheat, but everybody does it. And then Ali went to check his lines at the back. He's pulling two rappies now, And when he went to see the line, his foot slipped and he fell off the back of his ski. No life
Oh.
jacket.
Yes.
So now the ski is going straight. So he's thinking now, he's on the 50 meter. You're not swimming back from there. Okay. I'm nowhere near him.
I don't
So
know.
he thought, yeah, well, I mean, yeah, okay, but not Alistair. Okay. he drinks too much. But so he thought, shit, and he swam to get in the way of the Rapala. And as he grabbed the line, if you pull the jet ski, it started to do circles, you know? And that's the only way he got back to the ski. Again, you know, just silliness. But I can tell you, it's not the first time he's fell off the ski either.
So
But
he
yeah.
did he get hooked by the Rapala or not? Luckily
No.
not.
He just grabbed it and he pulled it, and then he gave her, like, as you said, that quarter-mile swim as fast as he can, you know, giving it his all to get back on and grab the ski.
Yes.
So the problem is, you know,
But
it gets
you
hot
know-
out there. You take the life jackets off.
Yeah.
You know what? It's a good point though is to have your phone in a waterproof pouch on you at all times. And it can be a bit of a ball ache, but if you've got it tucked into your shirt or something, because if you never know when something like that's going to happen. And if he had fallen off and his ski had gone, like you say, he'd been stuck there. No one could see him. You can't see anyone. At least he could have
I
tried to
knew
phone.
that he was in that direction, but I would never have found him. Because by the time I would
No,
got him,
it's like
he
a
would have
needle in
been
a haystack.
miles away from him. Yeah. So that was just another
And he's not
adventure.
and he's not a V-Town Olympic swimmer like you.
This
So-
is exactly what I was saying to him. If he had my physique and my fitness level, he would have been good. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Guys, I
Suddenly
think
we lost-
we've gone on
this
quite
is
long, and it's
serious
been some
stuff,
good
eh?
stories.
Yeah.
But
Safety
but
first,
it's
yeah.
there's a lot of good to come out of incidents like this, and we've touched on a few of the things that you can that you've got to be aware of. Like you said, is just check, and also check your safety equipment. All I mean, not all your equipment, your fishing equipment, your safety equipment. Regularly check it, you know, because it's like they like as men, when we get older, you always have to check your equipment regularly, you know. So it's
You-
Haven't got there yet.
but
eh?
it's
Haven't
but
got
it's
there yet,
important.
Legend.
Advice though.
I get
It's
somebody
important
check it
to
for me.
to have safety as at the forefront of your mind all the time, because things can go wrong so quickly. Eh?
I think the bottom line, and that's what
But-
Brett was alluding to, is it starts out great, and at the blink of an eye, you're in shit now, you know. And how do you recover from that? And that's the hardest part, right? It's boom, and it's real now. It's all real. I mean, the minute I had the ski above my head, I thought, I must be honest, I did think, how do I get it to go the 360? And I thought, I was like right there. I don't know, what do you do? I don't know. But then I pushed it away, and then when it fell, as I came up, the ski fell like this far from my head, you know? And then I thought, okay, boys.
Yeah, this
this
I
is
think
real now.
we all pretty experienced in what we're doing, and I think if we're telling these stories, if this can happen to us, it can definitely happen to somebody less experienced. And yeah, you want to have all your wits about you and all your ducks in a row when it happens, because it's a matter of when, not if. It's going to happen at some point if you do it enough.
That's the bottom line.
And the important thing is to try to stay as calm as possible. It's hard, but if the less you panic, the less energy you consume, the less energy you use, and the more reasonably you can think. But it's not easy when you're in a situation. But
Sure.
And especially when you're
and
not fit,
don't be scared to call for help if you need to.
I called all day, no one came to get me. I feel like
Well,
drinking
I
beer
called and I just got waved back to you.
No, nobody saw me, boss. Not even the Oaks and the Flats,
no,
and
no.
I had no cell phone with me.
I don't know how you swim with a paddle.
Yeah, I know. It's my baby,
I
that
just-
thing, eh?
I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, well done, guys. Thank you for allowing us to
Guys.
come and share our troubles. Hopefully, it
Yeah,
helps
thanks,
people be a
man.
bit
Thanks for
more
joining us.
aware. Yeah,
And
thanks, guys.
hopefully we won't be on another show telling these stories again. So, or telling a different story, similar. Yeah,
So Brendan,
gotta learn from your mistakes, or learn
take
from
it
things
you-
that happen.
I take it you're in the market for a new Vortex then, eh?
Yes, yeah. Are you able to do anything with this?
Yeah, yeah. You'll make a trophy for your garage.
You know what I'm thinking of doing? Check that thingy at the back there. I'm thinking of actually mounting this with
Where did you
a
buy it?
like a thick head.
over the kingy.
I can put it on the wall.
Yeah, yeah. Where did you buy the key?
Hey,
Where did you
thrift
buy
shop,
the? Yeah,
thrift shop.
yeah. Cash Crusaders.
I caught that at Cozy Bay.
Do you have any
That's a
photos?
story for another day, though.
Yeah,
The crowd aren't interested in that now.
100%. Yeah,
Guys, thanks,
guys.
man. Thanks for
I
joining.
hope you guys learned something there a little bit. You know.
Yeah, and it's hopefully we see each other on the water when it's nice and flat.
I don't know, but you need to get a kayak. You know what I mean? Come fish with me.
Kev, I've got a double. I'll take you out.
Oh goodness.
We'll
I
go.
will snap
We'll
that
launch
thing
it.
off.
We'll launch it. I'm slow to your chain rocks.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, is there not a weight restriction on it?
It's a good idea. It sounds like you need to work on your fitness a little bit there, Kev.
What do you mean a little bit? I'm just buying a bigger life jacket. Yeah, thanks, guys. That was lovely. Eh?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks. Brett, Kev,
Bye.
shot.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Bye bye.
Cheers, bye.